He stood in the doorway, his hand still resting on the doorknob, his mind refusing to accept what his eyes were seeing. The white bedsheet, once clean and ordinary, now held a small but unmistakable stain of red. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't like the movies. It was quiet, almost fragile, and because of that, it hit him harder. Daniel fumbled for the light switch with shaking fingers. The dim glow revealed more. Her lying there, half covered, her face turned slightly away, eyes open but distant. She looked embarrassed more than afraid. "You were pure," he whispered, his voice breaking before he could stop it, "and you gave it to me." Her lips tightened. "Don't say it like that," she said softly. He backed up a step, running a hand through his hair. Daniel wasn't a naive man. Life had carved too many lessons into him too early. A single father at 28, widowed young, raising a 6-year-old by himself, he had learned to live carefully, cautiously. He didn't believe in fairy tales anymore. He believed in routines, packed lunches, school pickup lines, quiet evenings after his son slept. He hadn't planned for last night. Her name was Alina. She had come into his life slowly, like the kind of rain that starts as mist and ends up soaking you through. She worked at the small cafe near his garage, the one place he took his son every Sunday for pancakes. She had that soft voice and eyes that looked like she thought too much. He had warned her from the start. "I'm not easy," he had said once, when she'd asked why he never stayed late to talk. "I'm not looking for easy," she had replied. Now he stared at the bed like it was proof of a crime he didn't remember committing. "Daniel," Alina said, sitting up slowly, pulling the sheet higher. "I didn't give you something. I chose to be with you." His chest tightened. "But you told me, you said you were waiting." "I was," she said. "Waiting for someone who wouldn't treat me like something to be taken." Silence spread between them. It was unusually loud. His first instinct was guilt, sharp and overwhelming. He felt like he had stolen something priceless without knowing he was stealing it. He remembered how careful he'd tried to be, how many times he'd asked, "Are you sure?" He remembered her nodding, her hands in his, how she hadn't hesitated. And yet, here was the proof that it had been real in a way he hadn't fully understood. "You don't look happy," she said quietly. "I'm scared," he admitted. Of what? He thought of his son, Caleb, asleep in the next room. Of the way the boy clung to his leg when he got nightmares. Of how fragile their little world already felt. Of hurting you, he said. Of being the kind of man who takes things he doesn't deserve. Alina looked at him for a long moment, then slowly stood, wrapping the sheet around herself. She walked across the room, stopping just a step away from him. "You didn't take anything," she said. "I gave it because I trusted you. Do you understand the difference?" He nodded, but his eyes burned. "When I was younger," she continued, "boys treated me like I was something they deserved just because they smiled at me." She gave a small, bitter laugh. "I learned how to say no. I learned how to protect myself. I chose you because you never pushed. You never even asked. That doesn't make it easier," he said hoarsely. "No," she agreed, "but it makes it honest." He turned his eyes back toward the bed, the stained sheet, and felt two emotions fighting inside him, shame and something dangerously close to love. "I should have known," he said. "You did know," she replied. "That's why you were gentle." The word, gentle, hit him harder than anything else. He'd forgotten how to be that. Grief had turned him into someone hard around the edges, a man made of schedules and survival. Feelings were for after the laundry was folded and the dishes were done. Alina reached out and took his hand. Her fingers were warm, steady, not shaking. "Look at me," she said. He did. "I am not broken," she said. "I am not ruined. I am not something that loses value because of blood on a sheet." His throat closed. He nodded, this time for real. "I need to know something," she added. "Are you going to disappear now? Pretend this didn't happen because you feel guilty." He thought about it, about how easy it would be to retreat back into his safe, lonely life. Then he thought about the warmth of her hand in his. "No," he said, "I'm not." She studied his face for a few seconds, searching for lies. She didn't find any. They cleaned the sheet together. Quietly, side by side, no drama, no shame, just two people moving carefully around something fragile. Later that afternoon, as the sun slipped in through the curtains, Daniel sat on the edge of the bed staring at the floor. "I've never been afraid of loving someone before," he admitted. "That's because before, you didn't have so much to lose," Alina said, sitting beside him. "Or so much to protect." She smiled slightly. Maybe that's why it matters more now. From the hallway, Caleb's soft laughter floated through the air, the sound of him watching cartoons. Daniel smiled without thinking. What? She asked. I just realized something, he said. I thought the blood meant I'd done something wrong. And now I think it means, you trusted me enough to be seen completely. She didn't answer, just rested her head gently on his shoulder. He didn't pull away. In that quiet, fragile moment, he understood that love wasn't always loud or perfect. Sometimes, it was messy. Sometimes, it involved fear and guilt and questions nobody knew how to ask. And sometimes, it began not with passion, but with trembling hands, a stained sheet, and two hearts trying to learn how to be brave together. By morning, the stain would be gone. But the moment, the weight of it, the honesty of it, would stay with them. Not as shame, but as the fragile beginning of something real.